Well, hello again. My name is Jeffrey Davis, and as I've said before, I'm excited all week this week as we are being hosted by our friends at Gray in Canton, Mass. Is that correct, Rich?
That's right.
And I'm being flanked to my right by my co-host for the week from Gray, Rich Hershen. Hi, Rich.
Hi, Jeff. It's good to be here.
Thank you very much. Our next guest is Frank McLaughlin from Gray, and welcome, Frank.
Thanks for having me, Jeff.
And what are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about restaurants. We're going to talk about, what restaurateurs need to do to make sure that they're going to be successful in whatever plan they have, and then, talk about some of the technologies here that Gray can offer them and really help them achieve those goals.
So why don't you start filling us in?
So kind of what I like to talk about, what I won't like to really dive into here is talking about what the restaurateur needs to do. Opening the business is step one, getting it up and running, but what do you try to do after that? What are you trying to accomplish? Is this you do want this to be 5 different restaurants? Do you want this to be kind of a small chain of the same restaurant, like a Legals?
Is it a concept or is it a one-off?
Yeah, right, exactly. And or do you want 5 one-offs? What are you trying to do here?
So you're talking creating a real business plan for these companies.
Exactly. So really try to talk to them and what
Or know what you want.
know what you want, right? What's their goal? What's their plan here?
Right.
And once we understand their goal, then we can talk about, okay, how are we going to achieve that goal and how are we going to attack it? Are we going to use the 20% of the dollars that we're earning in restaurant 1 to put aside so we can put down on restaurant 2? How are we going to accomplish these things and make sure that we're taking the proper tax plan also to make sure that we're accomplishing those?
So do you find a lot of companies create the business plan and you work hard on it, it's all a great idea, and then it gets pushed in the corner and no one really looks at it?
Yeah, that's more, you get wide-eyed and you go through the plan, you're like, this is great, and then a year goes by and you get into it, as anybody does, just like us in tax season or busy season, we get into the groove and then we kind of just trying to get through what we're trying to get through, and we push to the side. That's when we come in. We have to tell our clients all the time, no, let's revisit this plan. Are we on schedule? Are we on pace to hit kind of the metrics and the goals that we put in place? And then we can kind of adjust and make sure that they're not doing that.
I want you to validate my feelings in one way or another, or my thoughts. I keep seeing restaurants opening, and they're so obsessed with getting it open in the food that they don't really understand the key elements, the key business elements to making the restaurant last.
Oh, absolutely. I think that a lot of restaurateurs are worried about the operations and making sure that those operations are bringing the dollars to the bottom line, but they don't look at that big picture. What are those metrics that they're supposed to be hitting? Do they know what their food costs they need to hit on food costs, liquor costs, labor costs, to make sure that they're going to hit the dollars and numbers that they need to hit their goals and follow that plan?
And you are in a great position to help clients with this, I would imagine, because you work with so many restaurant owners that you've seen the industry, you see what other financial statements look like, you know the business. So when you're looking at a financial statement for a restaurant, you can identify where the costs are high, where they're low, and really help the business owner and guide them through that process.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So just, to your point, we had a client in the other day, and we're sitting there talking, and he has a 5-year plan. So he owns 3 restaurants, and he wants to get out, but he wants to get away with a certain dollar amount. And we're talking about, hey, your food cost here should really be 1.5% lower than it should, which is going to drop $50,000 to the bottom line, which you can then put away over the next 5 years and really help you get to that dollar amount that you're looking for. So having those conversations and me knowing exactly what, because he had different concepts, and different concepts have different metrics. He has a fine dining establishment that has a higher food cost than a fast food restaurant or something like that. So knowing that what those concepts need to do and what those metrics are for each concept is vitally important to make sure that they're hitting those metrics.